Army Chief General MM Naravane is now in Ladakh. During his two-day visit, the Army Chief is going to review the ground situation, discuss the ongoing standoff with ground commanders, visit forward locations and interact with troops on the ground. Meanwhile, according to sources, the Corps Commander level talks between India and China were held at Moldo in a cordial, positive and constructive atmosphere. There was mutual consensus to disengage. Modalities for disengagement from all friction areas in eastern Ladakh were discussed and will be taken forward by both the sides. Let me go across to my colleague Amritpal Singh, who's on the ground in Ladakh, keeping tabs on all the movements that are going on and the visit of the Army Chief as well. First, in terms of what was agreed at the Corps Commander level meeting, Amrit, it was an 11-hour meeting. Disengagement is what is being specified by sources. Now, what indications are we getting of that disengagement agreement working on the ground today? Anything happening today itself?
Well, today there are no meetings scheduled, military commander level meetings scheduled, but about last night's meeting, which finished pretty late in the night, and it's rather unusual that Army commander, Corps Commander of India and the Corps Commander or his equivalent on the Chinese side carried this on for more than 11 hours, Gautam. But sources tell us that it happened in a very cordial atmosphere. Of course, the disengagement process was the main thing that was discussed between the two commanders. India insisted for a roadmap. The Chinese are ready to get back to India on that, but the in-principle agreement that took place on the June 6th is what was carried forward, and the need to disengage in a manner which is mutually convenient, and which India also sought assurance that an incident like the one which transpired, which happened on the intervening night of 14th and 15th, should not happen again in the disengagement process. Both sides agreed that it was in the interest of both countries to resolve the standoff, which is well into its 7th week now.
Right.
There were some perceptions, differences on perceptions of the alignment of the LAC. Those were as well. Those were discussed as well. Also, India, in no uncertain terms, General Harinder Singh conveyed to General Liu Lin that should the PLA resort to any sort of misadventurism or look at any transgression, even if there are differences of perception, that should be resolved through talks at the commander level meetings. They could be held at the sectoral commander level, div commander level, battalion commander level. But if an incident repeats itself, India will reply and respond with full force. So that was clearly conveyed to the Chinese side in yesterday's meeting. Gautam?
Right. And in terms of the visit then of General Naravane, the Army Chief, as far as Ladakh is concerned, how significant does that become? Because he's spending full 2 days there.
That's right. General Naravane is on a two-day visit. He arrived a couple of hours back. The state went into the meeting with the 14 Corps Commander, where the 14 Corps Commander would have briefed him as to what really transpired at the yesterday's meeting with the Chinese commander. And he basically is here to take an assessment of the situation on the ground and see for himself the operational preparedness of the Indian Army, as well as to interact with the ground commanders. He is already right now at the 14 Corps headquarters. He's also expected to visit the 3rd Infantry Div headquarters as well, to assess for himself the operational readiness of the Army and the deployment at forward posts. His meeting, after he met with the 14th Corps Commander, he went down to the General Hospital in the Corps headquarters and met with the gallant soldiers who were injured in that incident of the 14th night, and he interacted with them. The sources tell us the soldiers told him that he gave them a shabash, or as it's called in the forge, in the army. A well done pat on their back for the valiantly they fought on 14th and 15th. But the gallant soldiers told him that they are raring to go back to their battalion and their positions once they get well. So he would be now moving to the Hall of Fame, and tomorrow he is expected to visit the 3rd Infantry Div headquarters to assess the situation for himself, as well as meet some ground commanders. Gautam?
All right, Amrit, you keep an eye on what's happening over there. We'll keep taking updates from you later on in the evening as well. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment.